Welcome to the Three Amibros podcast. Today is a two bro episode. Unfortunately, Chris couldn't join us on this episode, so you're stuck with Justin and I. Today, we talk about all things new coaching hirings, where people are going to end up, where they're going to be. We talk about what the future of the NFL looks like with Patrick Mahomes. We go into basketball. We have LeBron watch. We go into the All-Star game. Justin and I pick our teams and who would be the starting five for each of those. We go back into football, talk about the games that were, talk about what happened. We get Chris riled up for next episode, which we cannot wait for. And if you want to join us, if you want to talk with us, if you want to reach out to us, reach us on socials at 3 Amibros Podcast on all socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. If you want to watch our long form podcast, which would be super awesome, go over to YouTube at 3 Amibros Podcast. If you type in the 3 Amibros, you'll find us out there. Other than that, enjoy the episode and have some fun, and see you in the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to your favorite podcast episode of the week. The 3 Amibros are back and we're broless, one-less. Sad day. Unfortunately for Chris, couldn't make it tonight. But he will be on the next one. Other than that, we're back to give you some great heated debate, between me and Alex, because it's always fun when we talk. It's always a little bit more heated because Chris is not here to help us this time. So it's always fun. And just like the heat between our conversations today, the heat of the NFL coaches lit up today. And early this morning, might I add, I felt like it was just one right after another.
It was crazy. It was a crazy morning. Like literally, I had my phone on. I put my phone on sleep mode when I go to bed, and I don't take when I'm on my days off. I don't take it off until like noon or 1, just to like have some silence.
Yeah.
And I like took it off, and you guys were like, "Oh, like these people getting hired," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "I haven't got any updates," but then I had to look back, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like quick too, not even like quick turnaround."
So who those don't know, it's actually the great NFL coaches got hired today. So we have Sean Payton, who is now former New Orleans Saints coach, is now becoming a member of the Denver Broncos staff, which is probably the greatest thing for Russell Wilson, period.
Probably, but that's a big ass to give up. 2020. I don't know what their 23. Actually, their 23 pick is probably pretty good.
So
and
give
their
us
24
exactly what they're
pick.
giving up.
Yeah, so they gave a first round in 23 for this draft, and then they gave a second round in 24.
They gave a first round this year.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably a pretty good draft pick. They were shitty.
Mm-hmm. Probably were, but so is it really that much when you really have things? You just maybe need a couple pieces. Like you're not.
They need some defense. That's they gave up Chubb,
but they also have another one because they got it from
They got it from Miami, right?
Chubb. So they'll have another first round. So easy money.
Yeah. Did they give up their Miami pick versus their pick? So if they gave up their Miami pick, sure. Like still keep your top. I don't know if it's said or not, but you still keep your top 10 pick, right? It just had a first round in 23. So you still keep I'm guessing they have a top 10 pick with how bad they were. I don't really know the draft order right now. But they probably have a top 10. And yeah, I guess giving up that and getting Sean Payton to. But one thing for Russell, like which one they give up?
So they actually gave up their 2023 first round pick, which they received from San Francisco.
How many picks do they have?
The 2024 pick for the New Orleans. Let's see. The Denver Bronco first round picks.
So now they have 2, or did they give up one of them for somebody? Oh, did they give up their one for Russell when they traded for him?
Probably one of them.
Did they give up their one, and then they got Miami's one? So maybe they just have one, but still, it's fine. You're still getting a number one pick, a number.
They actually don't. You're so right. They don't have a first round pick. They did give it up. They actually don't have a pick, I think, until the 3rd round. Because if this is an article that it was re-edited today that shows their list.
That's crazy. So yeah, and you need some defense help. Maybe you go out in the offseason. Maybe bringing in Sean Payton makes people want to land in Denver, but with everything that went on during the season with Russell, is that a place that you want to go and play football? That is like the next question. Sure, you bring in Sean Payton, so now it might be different, but with Russ at the helm of everything that happened this year, like, do you want to go play there?
Yeah, so here, reason why, because I think it's a steal for them. Sean Payton is literally had the same amount of offense with Drew Brees and literally a similar stature and size of Russell Wilson and had great success for a lot of years. Um, what held them back, who knows, right? I think because they got to one Super Bowl and right and won,
They won.
but nothing really more. Where
They were
Russ, I
always in
think
the
that's
playoffs,
exciting.
though.
Yeah, like I think it'll be exciting. I think it'll just be a better fit. Wherever Sean Payton's gonna go, he's gonna make a difference. I
Yeah,
feel like.
I'm just saying, like with Russ at the helm,
Yeah,
with all of the stuff that came out this year, do you want to go? Is that somewhere you want to go as a free agent? Do you want to go to
dude,
Denver?
think about humility. The humility he also has with all of it, right? He's
Yeah,
accepting like everything that's going on. He's not over there being like, well, no.
yeah, I guess that's
Uh,
right. I just want and what Sean Payton is an old school coach, man. He is a He is not a player's coach. I guess he is a player's coach, but he's not a Nathaniel Hackett where it's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah." No, it's like Sean
well,
Payton's gonna do
good.
what
That's what
Sean
they
Payton.
need.
It's
How
what
the
they
fuck
know,
you
but I'm
win a
saying
Super Bowl, dude? How the
it's
fuck they
yeah.
get
But Nathaniel Hackett got hired where? The
Oh
Jets, right? Yeah,
yes,
to try to get
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers. Oh my gosh. But yeah,
Dumb
I
move. How do you go from one crappy to another? That sucks.
dude.
That really sucks. But if he gets
If you get Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers, does
Rodgers,
it suck?
I
I
don't know.
mean,
I know,
does it suck
but
if you get Aaron? That's what Denver's plan was the whole time, and I think when they got Russell, I think it was signed, sealed, and delivered for Hackett. Hey, you didn't get the guy that we hired you for. We're getting you out of here now that Sean Payton comes in. I hope he's good. I hope he does well. I
so
like
then
Sean
let's
Payton.
think. I do too, and I think it'll be fun. I think there's a lot of controversy, but for Broncos fans, this looks like an upside for you.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully for you guys, it'll go good. One thing I wanted to do real quick was who won that. So, basically, I don't think the Saints had a first round pick, but they just received one now from Denver via Miami and San Francisco. It was like one of those
Okay.
trades. So, who won
The
this
trade.
trade?
See, that's a hard one because you're getting a first but you're getting a second next year. So if they do really great next year, like it doesn't really matter. But you're getting a first this year, and they didn't have a first. The Saints didn't have a first, so they
And
gained a first, and but like the Saints won that for sure. The only reason I say they won that is because what was he? He wasn't even their coach. Like it doesn't. He didn't
he didn't
do
want to coach.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah,
he didn't do anything for their program. Like they got something out of nothing. Sure, the Broncos are probably in a better position with coaching wise,
yeah.
but like you didn't even use it.
100%. But now the deal, the
Yeah,
Saints
like
won. They got those free picks.
it's a free, yeah, literally free two picks. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, because he was just on TV, just hanging out, doing whatever he's doing.
Well, let's talk about the actual coach who's still coaching in the NFL too. And we
Yeah,
have DeMarco Ryan, former player, now being the coach of the Texans. Oh my God.
I'm
Okay.
excited, dude. No more recycled products going around.
Yeah.
It just seems like the same freaking coaches come back year after like oh, we get fired here. Like I was worried that they're gonna hire like a Kingsbury. It's like awesome.
Oh,
We saw what he did in the Arizona. Like not great. Why would you take him? Like, and it almost
the
feels
Cardinals were
like
open too. If you were the Cardinals, why didn't you get after him?
yeah. Oh, dude. And in division, you saw what he did to him every year. But he yeah, like it was, and I guess reportedly the Broncos were going after him first.
Oh, really?
They were going after him, and then when they found out that he was committed to the Texans, they went to Peyton.
I agree with that. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, why not? But I mean, I hope that he does something. That team looked like they wanted to win so bad every game. So
Yeah.
maybe like
Well, the
we're seeing
last
it.
team that the 49ers defensive coordinator went to is Robert, whatever, that's over in the Jets.
Oh
So
yeah,
like he's
Sala.
done a lot with the Jets, like turning them around pretty
He
good.
has.
So
He
maybe
hopefully
DeMarco Ryan's that for the Texans, which you can only hope because you're
and
right. The Texans fought hard in
he signed a
every.
6-year contract. So it's like almost that they're saying like, hey, the last 2 years with coach after coach is like was bridge years. We're trying to figure out what we're doing. Now we're bringing in somebody that seems like a coach that should be a while. It's a brand new head coach. You're gonna give him a little more leniency year 1 and year 2 because he's
Yeah,
never been a head coach in the league. So it almost seems like you're trying to build with him, which is a good sign for Houston.
yeah, 100%. I wonder where Brian Flores is going to. By the way, I forgot
I have
about
no
him.
idea.
He was a good one. But and the other one, the one that I called, I told on the last podcast, and I love it when I'm right. I kind
Yeah.
of feel bad, but it's cool. That Cowboys let go Kellen Moore. Probably a really, really, really smart decision. And then the Chargers decided to pick him up. Probably a really, really
As
dumb
an
decision.
OC?
Yeah, yep, as an offense coordinator.
Damn. Not
Which
even a quarterbacks coach, like OC?
I don't know
Maybe their system will work there. Like that's the thing too about OCs is they're system based. Maybe his system just didn't work
with Dak.
with Dak, right? But also Dak and Herbert are similar ish, both
I agree.
mobile-ish. They
But
both have bigger arms. Like they're similar. They're similar talents, right?
But he chokes. He seems to choke. Like in the big
True.
games, big situations, Kellen Moore. Like
Yeah,
part of it's the team, part of it's also the play calling. Like all those things add
dude.
into it. And
He,
so like the Eagles fucked up the 49ers defense. Yes, they didn't have a fucking we'll talk later about that. But
yeah,
for example, like we couldn't do shit against them with our best guys.
yeah.
So it's just a little like
It's that hire is weird to me. I guess because in all reality, they did have a lot of success with Kellen Moore as their OC. Sure, it's not a Super Bowl, but they did have success with him as their OC.
yeah.
Sure, like you said, it's more of the hey, when you're having a chance to play for the NFC title and then you make a dumb call like that multiple times in a game in like the conference games, it's not what we want to see.
Yeah.
Like that's not where we want to go. And I
Yeah.
don't know why you don't have someone that I think he was there before Mike McCarthy, right? He was
Yeah.
there with Jason Garrett.
He's been there for a while. So he started as a quarterback coach. He was a quarterback with us, then went to a quarterbacks coach. So he's like what I think the Cowboys typically do. But I like they decided, and I loved. I know we talked about Dan Quinn staying and committing to the Cowboys. Did we talk? We
Yeah,
did
we
talk
did
about
last week, last podcast.
that too, dude. Just makes it even better. It makes me excited because I think Mike McCarthy's not the problem. I don't know if he's like the guy I would want to be around,
Who
but
knows if he's
like
the solution, but he's definitely not the problem. He's a good
what
coach.
what I think is Mike McCarthy will retire or they'll like fire him after his contract and then they'll just promote Dan Quinn because Dan Quinn could have gone out and got a really good job this year too.
Dude, but who doesn't want to be a Cowboys coach? No matter if you hate them, love them, it's like the
Who?
staple of it's
Yeah,
like being a Yankees coach, right? It's like
exactly.
that's like the teams that you want to be a coach of. It's like being sure the Knicks aren't anything, but if you were like a New York Knicks or a Los Angeles Lakers coach, like
Lakers.
it's
Yeah,
it's like that is
it's
a
like
staple of like these sports. It
yeah.
doesn't it's America's team. It's literally America's team. Like who doesn't want to be, no matter what you like him or hate him, if you got the chance to dress as like a cowboy, that's like a super cool opportunity.
Oh,
And
100%.
you've
And
got a
it's
chance to
bougie.
coach the Cowboys. Yeah, it's bougie. It's
It's
nice.
fucking high class.
It's nice. Like, what can you ask? What more could you ask for? And I think you're right. Because how many more years does he have? Like a year or two?
Yeah, not that much. I can
Yeah,
double
because
check.
he's been there for 2 years now. This
Yeah.
is his second. This will going into his third year. So you might have 2 years left. You make Dan Quinn. You have Dan Quinn wait a year, maybe two, and you just give him the job.
So he signed a 5 year. He's a free agent in 2025. So in two
Yeah,
years.
so 2 years left. But maybe you just cut him before. Maybe you just have him retire before, and you have Dan Quinn step up next year.
Hey, thank you for your time. We're gonna move to Dan Quinn and
Yeah, dude. Dan
and
Quinn.
what a fucking
I love Dan Quinn.
I do
I
too.
love Dan Quinn. I feel bad that he's remembered as the Atlanta's coach that had the comeback on him, but I love Dan Quinn.
But that so wasn't his fault. His offense shut
His
down,
dude that
and then
that
they
game
got lucky. That whole game
TB
was
bro
luck.
TB bro. That's all you can say. It's just it was the curse of TB.
Well, I don't know if we're talking still about football, what you're doing, but you want to talk about Tom Brady's, and I think we talk about Patrick Mahomes quite often. And I think because he's so good since he's been so young, it is really hard to be like, oh, I love this kid. And
Dude,
his family made him kind of hard because his sister
I
was
hate
being,
him.
or sorry, his brother was being dumb.
And
His girlfriend was
his
crazy.
wife is hella
Wife.
weird.
Um, yeah, they're just different, right? But it makes you want to hate the guy a little bit. But then you
I,
just see these things that he's accomplishing, and like this is a passing of the torch. This is the new Tom Brady.
dude, he's freaking. I don't know about. Okay, that's a stretch.
Okay,
Chris might have your head for this one when he gets on here next week.
I hope he
But
does.
but I will say it's funny how you hear nothing from his wife and his brother anymore. Zero. I don't know what Patrick said to them to tell him like, hey, stop because you're ruining my career. and you have nothing without my career.
Dude, I think that was like a parent intervention. Like, to be truthful, like his parents and him probably had to sit down and be like, yo, hey, you guys both are making a bad impression for him, who is the guy making the money, having the career. Like, it's cool that you have that like personality and stuff, but you
Yeah,
guys need to calm it the fuck down. You're in the
you are
limelight now.
you are nothing without Patrick Mahomes being good. Like
Yeah,
if he's bad, right? And it's like, sure, he kind of got away with it because they're so good all the time. Can you imagine if they were on like a losing season
right.
and they were doing all this stuff? Oh my gosh, dude, it'd be
And
over.
I know Chris will have it in my head for
He
having that
will have your
conversation,
head.
but let's
Okay, but
it
you
could
can't.
potentially be, but
He
here
needs he
potentially.
needs to win. If he wins this one, he's 2-1
Yeah.
in the Super Bowl. This is if he wins, right? He's 2-1 in the Super Bowl. He's
Maybe I
made
should
it.
reframe it like this. I don't think he's going to be the GOAT right
He's the
now.
passing of the
I
torch,
think
though.
he's
Yes,
going to be like he's going to be what Tom Brady was for all of us growing up, right?
yeah,
Tom Brady played in every fucking game. You had to beat Tom Brady if you
he's
want
the
to make it to the
worst.
Super Bowl. You basically have to beat Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it feels like with Patrick Mahomes now. Like you have to beat Patrick
You,
Mahomes. Like
I
you
mean,
have to beat
what
the
what you sent us that thing? It was like the last 5 AFC championships have gone through Arrowhead,
and all from
or
him. And he's
yeah,
only been in the league for that, I
5
believe.
years. He's only been. I think he was a rookie in 2018, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's crazy, and he won it his sophomore year or his junior year. I don't remember. He won it I think his junior year. And then he went to it.
He won it his sophomore. So they won the Super Bowl, went to the Super Bowl but lost, and then went to the championship, and now is going to the Super Bowl.
And they lost last year to Burrow last year, right?
So he's a one-time Super Bowl champ, a one-time Super Bowl MVP, a MVP, a five-time Pro Bowler, and a two-time first-team All-Pro.
And he should win the MVP again this
And
year.
he's young, bro.
Yeah,
He's
he's
so young.
27,
Yeah.
28,
So
something like that.
through the rest of the year, and when the fucking season comes, Patrick Mahomes, I hate you
Literally
because now
same.
I have to play you.
Yeah,
But
you're not even in the AFC, bro.
and
It's horrible.
but we respect you.
Yeah, we
We
respect it.
admire
Hey,
what you're
listen,
doing.
I
And so
love watching you play. It's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying to watch you play, but when you're not playing the Steelers, I love watching you play.
oh yeah, so
Like
good.
when you're playing the Steelers, if you could just bench yourself for just like fun, that'd be awesome. But whatever. I
Yeah.
I I also think that I also think that Patrick Mahomes. I understand Burrow's only been in the league. This will be his third year, right? He's only been in the league 3 years. Josh Allen has proven himself to what he's going to kind of be. He's been in the league for a while. Um, but like Patrick Mahomes is just on like a different level.
He
It
is.
almost, it almost, I guess you're right because it almost reminds me like Patrick Mahomes equals Tom Brady, and like Burrow and Allen equal like Peyton Manning and Ben Roethlisberger. It's like kind of what it is, right? Like it's kind of like it's kind of like how it like kind of
100%.
for the last couple of years, it's kind of what it feels
Yeah.
like in the last for how long how we saw the AFC forever, and it's
Right.
kind of very similar. Hey, there's these three guys in the AFC who will always be in the AFC Championship game and who will always win it and go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of how it
It's
feels.
but good for them for making dynasty and doing things like that.
And also Andy Reid is a fucking genius, dude.
Go. Did you hear that if he wins the Super Bowl, he will become the winningest coach in Chiefs history. So not only he's already the winningest coach in the Eagles, he is also the winningest coach in the Chiefs if he wins this game. Tell me that this isn't a plot. Please, like everybody
Dude,
talks about the story.
it's fucking rigged, bro. It's rigged. So you got the brothers playing each other, Travis and Jason. You've got Andy Reid playing the Eagles again. Now you've got Andy Reid becoming the winningest coach by beating the team where he is the winningest coach.
I just some of the things I don't like.
Peyton or Patrick Mahomes was magically cured. He wasn't cured, obviously, but he had a high ankle sprain, which it's like, how is a week later you're
He
doing
still
all
was
this?
hobbling.
He was hobbling, but he's gonna be hobbling again in the Super Bowl, and they're gonna make these weird. The the calls of the game were kind of questionable.
And I think that's where we raise the question of why we're asking this, because what happened?
Is it there was a couple late hit. So the one big one was the late hit on Patrick Mahomes to put him in field goal. Not a bad call at all.
No, super
That's a very good call. Like you can't do that when he has 2 feet out of bounds. Like you just can't do that. But there were a couple late hits on Burrow. There was a couple holding penalties that may not have got called. The third down that got replayed. Like there were some things that happened. And now listen, I think we'll get into that more when we talk about the actual game. But the referees, I feel like this is sports wide, need to become full-time referees. Stop this whole part-time stuff. Like if you really want them to be committed, have training program, make them do all this stuff full time and just pay them because you're getting so much complaint, so much grief year after year.
Well, if it's their full time, like, dude, done. How many do you have to
That's what I'm
have?
saying. Fire
What's the
them.
most we have to do? And then we have some backups just in case they get sick. And what? Okay, you can't tell me the NFL can't give a little bit of extra money to do those for the refs,
Bro, are
dude.
you
a hundred
kidding me?
thousand dollars, I'd be a fucking ref.
That's what I'm saying. You're a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah,
Like it's one and then the one.
if you paid $80,000, I think I'd be a ref.
And can you imagine you own a business, okay? There's a lot of pain points in when you own this business, but one main pain point you can fix, and you're just like, you know what, man, I don't really know. Maybe we should just keep them at how they are. It's like, no, dude, you own a business at the end of the day. Your customers, aka us, the people who watch this fucking program, hate the refs.
Yeah.
They don't like the refs. Like it's like kind of annoying. Like they're getting better. I will say that they're getting better. Having New York have an eye, like it's getting faster, it's getting better, but there's still like missed calls, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely missed calls, and I think everybody knows that. I
And
think
if you're a Chiefs fan, you love it. If you're a Bengals fan, you hate it. That's what it is.
you're gonna be mad by both. And I think the hard part I always say is like everybody wants to blame the rep for things, but if your team was really gonna win the game, you should never been in a position where that had to be the reality of it.
How many
That's just the
times in
way
high
it
school
fucking
football
goes.
did we get told that, right? Like it's like
Yeah,
even at such a young age, it's like if the refs had to decide if you won or lost a game, you didn't deserve to win that game.
100%. Win the fucking game.
Yep.
And that I don't know that guy that calls the last one, the Bengals player.
The
He was
Bengals
super
player.
young, first off. And did you see his like thing? He was bawling,
Yeah,
bro. And
bro.
then
Dude,
people were pissed.
did you see his interview after? So he was like getting asked a question about like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, how does it feel to do this? And his teammate was like, nope, next question. We're not talking about that. It obviously is apparent of how he feels. Doesn't matter. We're moving on. We're not talking about that. He had a great game. We all told him he had a great game. Just because you make one mistake doesn't mean that you have a horrible game. Like, moving on. Next question. It was like, hell yeah.
Lit.
Like,
Hell
we
yeah.
need a teammate like him in my life.
Yeah,
Like, hell
bro.
yeah, bro.
Boys back. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Damn, let's
it
go.
was like, because I mean, can you imagine like
Yeah.
like you are the reason they
Didn't
scored that.
cost them, but you cost them.
Well, I mean, if you look at that field goal, it's made from 41, but it's not made from 54,
But he
55.
probably would have kicked it different. Kickers are like gonna do that. Like
I
he had put
yeah,
it high. Like it had high height.
I
It
don't
just
know,
didn't have
man.
distance.
I don't
But
know, man. Yeah, it's a very sticky conversation with what, and it's so sad because he was literally having like the game of his life,
yeah.
and then one bad just mistake,
Yeah.
not even a play, just
And
a
just
mistake.
emotion even too. Like
It could have been just literally like, dude, last play of the game, we need to get him out of bounds.
yeah.
And it's just like, and then you hate to see it. But I mean, I don't mind seeing it. I don't really like the Bengals, but
Oh, I like the Bengals.
I don't know.
I like the Bengals. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate the Chiefs. I just don't want them to win all the fucking time. So that's kind of annoying. But I would love to see Joey B get it. I thought that would have been cool, but it is
Maybe.
what it is. And I
And
think
now you hate both the teams in the Super Bowl.
yeah. Yeah, 100%. But
We've been talking about, we're gonna switch it up. We'll come back to football, but we've been talking a lot about goats. And I know that there's a goat, arguably,
yeah.
arguably. I'm on the non-goat side, but arguably greatest of all time playing basketball is how close, Jay? LeBron watch. Here we come.
LeBron watch. Yes, yes. Repping the boy today. Because why not?
Yeah.
So dude, yeah, LeBron's crazy. It's coming closer and closer. I think he just had an injury in his foot. It's supposed to be sooner, but I think at this point now it's a little bit longer. He's expected to do it on February 9th. So if you're interested in like watching that game, it's against the Milwaukee Bucks. You're definitely gonna want to tune in and watch some history be made. So I will be
Oh,
watching that game on the
I
ninth.
will also be watching that game because like it doesn't matter if you love him, hate him, despise him. It's just cool to see history happen.
It's memorable.
It's like when Sean Payton threw for like the most yards, and then when Peyton Manning and Tom Brady that same year like threw for touchdowns. It's just cool to see like
Yeah,
history
history be
happen.
made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. It's just cool.
And that's going to be at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I don't know Eastern Standard Time, so it's a late game.
That's so late, bro.
Yeah,
9
so
p.m. Are you kidding me?
but I think it's at um
Is it
um
is it in LA?
yeah, it's at Crypto Arena. Yeah, so it'll be
What a
more.
horrible name for an
So it's supposed
arena.
to be on the 7th originally, and they would be playing the Thunder. So I mean, a better team to win
Hey,
against. Like,
also, how cool would it be to do it at home? Because it wasn't supposed to be at the Thunder, right?
yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, so it'd be cool to do it at home.
Yeah, it will be. I'm probably excited. It's exciting, man. I think again, anytime you look at this, it's just history being made, and it's fun to do.
Also,
Whether
how
you hate them.
crazy is it that I think we talked about it last year that LeBron has been able to play 20 years with very minor injuries.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's just crazy to think about. Like, well, did you hear him like his sleep schedule?
No, I
Bro,
don't
he
know.
was,
But
bro,
he's crazy.
he was. I don't know where this came out of, but it was on my Twitter. His sleep schedule. He goes, "Yeah, I fall asleep at midnight, wake up at 8, have breakfast from 8 to 8:30, go to bed at 8:30, wake up at noon." What the?
What the fuck?
A lot of sleep, dude.
He's a big ass dude.
That is a big dude. That's like 12 hours of sleep, though.
And I think about how old he is. He's in his 40s, right?
He's got to be, bro, because
And
he was
he's
drafted
running.
in. No, he's
And
38. He's 38. If he was
he's
drafted in 18, 20 years.
almost 40, and he's
Almost
fucking
40.
running miles on a court every day
Yeah,
and trying
dude.
to play a season. So it is crazy. It is crazy.
That's crazy to think about. He's 38 and he's doing
Yeah.
this.
But basketball still, I mean, it's getting crazy. I think the Eastern Conference is pretty much not pretty much settled, but you can definitely tell who's like the dominant teams on that side. But like every year, the West is so fucking competitive.
It's
Oh my
always it's always
God.
one conference in each sport. It's never just like the this year the NFC was very just like, okay, this is who's gonna win. Towards the end it got a little heisty there, but it was like this team's it, right? The AFC is usually like, what the fuck is gonna happen? But this is the West, bro. We don't know what's gonna happen.
100%. You don't know what's gonna happen. And I always like to do like my like teams who I wouldn't expect, and I'm kind of excited to see which one was the Capillaries we talked about on the Eastern side. Just they're 31 and 31 and 21. Like the Cavs,
Insane.
they had just a young squad, picked up some good players.
They got
Mitchell
Spider.
off the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was someone else, but and another one was the Sacramento Kings. You know, they're third in the West
That's
at
insane.
20. Third in the West. That's crazy. The Kings. They made some trades in the offseason. Remember they traded for that big dude. What's it?
Sabonis?
Sabonis. Yep. And
Did
then
they trade
gave
for him?
away Trey Helberton and someone else.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, they did.
Oh yeah, to OKC, right? They trade
Um,
where
no,
was he?
to
Indiana?
yes, Indiana.
Indiana. Okay, so yeah, Sabonis. Yeah, that was right. They did give him. He wasn't a king. Dude, he's been kind of He was not this good. He was good in Indiana, but he was not
He's
this good in
good there
Indiana.
too.
He
But
was
I think
good.
he's getting better and better developing,
Yeah.
And what a good
Well,
move is like,
his
whoa.
his dad. You know about his dad?
No.
So his dad is Sabonis as well. I don't remember his first name, but he was like arguably one of the best European players ever. But his prime, something happened to where he had to stay wherever they're from, and he wasn't able to come over to the States until he was like later in his career, and he was still balling people up.
Damn.
Ridiculous,
That's
ridiculous, bro.
crazy.
Yeah, like
What is he?
he. I don't remember where they're from. They're from like the Russia or something like that, like one of those Eastern European countries, like a Baltic country, maybe Bulgaria. I don't remember where they're from actually, but they're from over there. But yeah, like I didn't know who he was, because my stepdad was talking about Sabonis being drafted.
Lithuania.
Lithuania. Okay, they're both, yeah, Baltic
That's
country.
all. Yeah.
Yeah, and so but like something happened where he couldn't come over, and because I watched a 30 for 30 on him too, and then Sabonis was being drafted, and my stepdad was like, Sabonis, like, is this the guy? Is this his son? Like Sabonis, his son? And then he started showing me highlights of Sabonis, bro.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Arvidas.
Yeah, Arvidas, yeah.
Arvidas. What a name.
What a player too. Arguably like one of the best
He
European. It was
looks like a fucking man.
big guy too.
big guy. He looks
Yeah.
like just this
But
big.
it was like it's funny. It's cool to see like it's cool. What's actually really cool to see is like European players doing well in the league right now.
Oh, dude. It's one of the coolest things because it makes it one. Again, when you think about basketball, and I think Chris had this conversation, it's one of the most competitive sports to play in. To be in the NBA is
But
the
when I
best.
think about basketball, I think of America. I don't think of European countries, right? That's not what I think of, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think America, and because like you said, where you go play in the Spanish league, you go play in these other leagues, sure, whatever. But it's like America's like
Can I give you a list of real quick players who are dominating the league that are not America based?
let me guess some of them. You got
Okay.
Jokic, you've
Okay.
got Luca, you've got Giannis, you've got Sabonis, you've got Embiid,
Mhm.
you've got I don't think they're I don't know anybody else.
You said Doncic?
I said Don yeah,
I'm trying to think of other ones too. Well, Tyler Hero technically is.
Tyler here, but he's been bigger.
Bam Amadeo.
Bam Amadeo is technically yeah. There are some gnarly players that are from like
Yeah, and you think
not
about,
America.
I'm gonna say just European like studs. Giannis is arguably technically like he could be considered probably the best
The
basketball
best.
player on the court right now.
Yeah, 100%. He is very good.
Fucking freak, right?
You
But then you
could
can say the same thing about Luca.
you could say the same thing
Luca
about Jokic.
Jokic. Yep.
It is. You're right. There are a lot of
It isn't as Rudy Gobert is French.
that's
There's a
right.
ton of French basketball players. So like, hey, we may not be 100% on this, and we're not that knowledgeable in the NBA, but I do know that there's tons of ethnicity within it, so it makes it even harder to have to be in the league.
Well,
It's
like
just
Tim Duncan,
yeah.
technically not American.
He is from
Virgin
South.
Islands.
Oh, the British, the U.S. British Virgin Islands.
Yeah, the Virgin Islands. But like and like that team looks so huge Spurs fan. I know guys, I'm a huge Spurs fan. That team was Tony Parker, France, Manu Ginobili, Argentina, Tim Duncan, Virgin Islands. And then they had like Boris Diaw, who was from France, and they had who else did they have on those teams that were from different countries? Patty Mills was from Australia. They had Marc Gasol for a minute. He was from Spain. Like that team is just like it's just crazy to think about all the people who are actually
Oh, yeah.
from not
The
America.
Yeah, you think history too. You got Dirk,
Oh, Dirk. German,
Dirk,
right?
Germany.
Yeah.
Yep. Shoot, I just had someone else. You just said not the
Steve Nash is technically from South America.
oh yeah.
Technically, he is from South
Wasn't
America.
Canada the
Huh?
two? He's
Who's
both
Canadian?
Canadian and South
Oh, is
American.
he? I just know
Yeah.
that he wasn't from America.
Yeah. So it's Tony Parker,
Tony
French.
Parker, bro. What?
Oh, fucking
Manu.
Shaquem Noah Noheem. Oh, what the fuck? The old Bulls.
Oh,
Remember the guy? Oh, he used
what?
to play with DeMar DeRozan, and he was like not. I
Wait,
can't see
who? He's played. Wait,
with the
Pascal?
Bulls. Noah.
No. Oh, yeah. Not DeMar DeRozan. Derrick Rose. He spoke Derrick Rose,
Yeah,
and
I said Derrick Rose.
no, you said DeMar DeRozan. I
Oh,
swear. I was like DeMar DeRozan.
oh,
His name was
listen,
Noah.
I don't know, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. He played on Florida. I don't know why I can't like picture his last name. He's a
Me either.
big boy. He's Noah. Noah H. Noah Hakeem. Noah. Yeah, that's a great one, man. I have no idea what actually it is. Damn, now you
Oh,
got me.
Jakeem Noah. I was right.
Oh, Jakeem Noah.
Yes. So I had the name right.
Yeah, I was like,
First name.
yeah, Jakeem though, dude, he was a monster.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's just
And then you
cool.
had both the Gasol brothers are from Spain.
Yeah.
They were,
And basketball, so also All Stars coming up soon. And
yeah.
I'm liking that little pick. I know other people are like feeling different about it, but I think they still listed the starters, which is confusing to me.
Wait a
Because
minute.
then do they
So
pick
they pick the day of, right? Or the hour before, but there's still certain starters. You don't like
that's
the coach doesn't start their lineup
That's what I'm confused about. And maybe we can look more into this for the next one. But like,
because
because then
I
I have
don't.
to have these guys starting.
Yeah, what's the point? What's the point of like having like what's the point of like just picking whatever if they're starters, right? Like
Yeah,
what if two starters get picked on both teams? Like what if six starters get picked on a team and only four starters get picked on another team?
I don't think, yeah, true. Because it could happen if they
Yeah,
pick
like
the right.
it could technically happen, right? If you want to take whatever, right? Say like your center just isn't a starter,
Yeah.
whatever, right? And you just
Or
happen
like,
to just
oh,
right?
I
Like
want be.
yeah, you're like, okay, cool, awesome. Like you got Embiid, and then if you don't like whatever, maybe you take another guy because they're
Yeah.
all freaking great players. So yeah, I did not realize that they were already select their starters.
Yeah. Which doesn't make sense. And then so we'll get more into that and
Yeah,
figure out
we'll look into it. Don't worry, boys.
something about like snubs and this is what I've learned. So again, we're learning basketball. Bear with us.
Listen, we
Snubs, these are
yes,
people are still going to the All-Star, just
okay,
didn't make the starter list. And the
okay.
big one name was Joel Embiid, who's arguably having probably one of the best
He's
career
not a starter.
no, he did not get the starting. Yes,
Wait a
exactly.
minute.
That's
You're telling
exactly
me
what
who got
like
the starter over him then?
I am trying to think off the top of my head and give me
Who,
one
let
second.
me see, who is even the NBA All Stars? I just know that all I've heard is Joel Embiid is like kind of killing it, and
Technically, no center. It is
oh,
Durant, Irving, Antetokounmpo, Mitchell, and Tatum. So there's no big guy, no center.
wait a minute. How does this work? So you can, okay.
I
So me and you are picking the teams, okay? Right?
yeah.
Me and you are picking the teams. Do we? So I guess Zion is just Zion and Jokic are the
Yeah, you want
two.
to do that? That'd be a fun game. Let's do it. Hey, let's have a random game.
All right,
Who
let's
would
do
you
it.
do your top
Let's do it.
five?
Okay,
So first
so
off, here's your front court and your guards. Ready? And I can send this to you actually.
I got them pulled up right here. Don't worry.
You?
Yeah, I got them pulled up. So are we gonna just choose from everybody?
Yeah, you want to do positions, or do you want to choose from
Yeah,
the people?
we'll
What
just
do you
do
think?
we'll just choose
Well, they didn't do that.
choose your starting five. Doesn't have to be a position. You can
Okay.
choose your center first, just your starting five. Since you have a basketball jersey on, I'll let you pick first. That's what you get.
All right. So which one do you want to start? Western or Eastern?
Oh, I thought we were just picking.
No. Oh, I mean,
I
we
thought
can do.
I thought that's what they were doing. Is that not what they're doing? Do they are they not
Well, they have
like
the starters, right? So they have
okay?
the East all starters, right? So
Yeah.
all those East starters are all from the East, and then the other ones are all from the West. So like technically, with the ones that started, so for the West, I know it was Jokic,
So
Williams,
it's Curry,
Curry,
Luca, James, Jokic, and Williamson, right?
yes.
So are they
So
like the
that's
start? I thought they were picking the teams. I thought what's going on here?
we'll figure that out. We don't know. Remember?
Okay. Well,
Okay,
just go
but
from the all-star list. Do you have the all-star list in front of you?
yeah, but do you have? Okay, that's harder because that's different.
What do you mean?
Because like no, I want to see like the best of five. So if I'm picking, so here I
Oh,
will
okay.
pick
Oh,
West
you
and
want
then
you
pick
okay, we'll take these five
yes from the
and
West.
from the top five from the
Okay, so
West.
here, hold on.
You tell me.
I'm gonna send you this picture real quick.
Okay, you send me this
I'm
picture
gonna help.
and then yeah, you because what I'm seeing in my head, okay, is that me and you
What I'm
are
seeing in my head.
what I'm seeing in my head is that me and you
So okay, there's the Western Conference and Eastern Conference, right? And there's the front court and the guards. So kind of how if you're building the basketball team that you want to see at this point, who are you putting in?
okay.
If you're like fun of the fun, best of the best, you have the West and the East, you have that picture right in front of you, right? Super easy.
I
I think it'll be
just
really
got it
quick.
open. Okay, I'm on it. Okay, so what do you
Well,
want
I'll
me to
talk
do?
about it what you think. So if I'm first off, I'm gonna pick Jokic because I think he's just one of the best centers in the league, and why not
Oh,
him be in there?
yeah. Okay, so we're thinking the same thing, just saying different words. Just from the West, we're gonna pick starting lineups to play each other.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I can't pick Jokic now, right?
Oh no, you can pick him.
Oh,
Well, I figure we just pick our own West
okay.
starters.
Oh, okay. So this is the vote. This is the starters lineup for the Western Conference. Then we're gonna
Yeah.
have Justin's starters lineup, and then we're gonna have my starting lineup. Right? All can be the same players.
Yeah.
I'm on it,
Yeah.
dude. Don't
It's just
even
who
worry.
you think. It's just who
Okay,
you would pick. Yeah.
who I
So
would
like,
pick. Okay, so number one, start my point guard would be
Luca.
Ja.
Oh fuck.
My
John's,
point.
I gotta go Luca though, because Luca's going on a
Okay,
tear.
but my shooting guard would be Luca.
Oh my god, that's smart though. That's
Yeah,
so
Ja at the one, Luke at the two. That's where I'm going.
okay, I agree.
You going with that too?
Yeah.
And then you got Jokic at the five.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take at the three. We're gonna go. We're gonna go James at the three. We're gonna play kind of big ball here because
Big boy. Okay,
I'm
James
I
at the three.
I'm taking
But James
James.
is a good three.
He's a good three. I'm taking James at the three. I'm taking uh
Taking
Sabonis at
Sabonis.
Sabonis at the four, Jokic at the five.
Yeah.
That's my starting lineup right now.
Dude, I'm agreeing with you. That was
Okay.
good. I thought
Yeah.
that was fire. Yeah.
That's okay. That's my
How
starting
sick
lineup.
would that jaw and them, dude? That would
Dude,
be
that would be insane. Just the fact that they can both handle and then you have James who can like literally handle the ball as well. So it's like you
oh,
got
he's
three
such an
point
assist
guards.
artist.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got 3 point guards. Like, cool. Okay, now the East. So now just so you guys know, Curry, Luca, James, Jokic, and Williamson was the poll from the Western Conference that are the starters.
Mm-mm.
We had Ja, Luca, James, Sabonis, and then Jokic.
What?
Okay. What about your East? Who are you taking at your one?
Oh man. Okay, one.
You got Kyrie, who's having a fucking year, and then you got Donovan, who's also having a year. Um,
Okay, one Kyrie.
Kyrie,
Hands
yeah, you gotta go one Kyrie. Just the shiftiness and then you gotta go
down.
two.
See?
Two is hard, bro, because you got
And
Jalen Brown, who's kind of killing it. You got James Harden, who's always James Harden. Uh, you got uh,
Barstool. Honestly, I don't know, man. I think I'm picking um it depends. Here's where you
you
gotta
could
start
even
thinking.
go Donovan again, but that's small.
If exactly, then you have small. See, here's the thing: you're playing big boy back on the
Yeah,
West,
we
so it's kind
are.
of West. But like, let's just not play against the West. Let's just pick the who we think would make it. Because
Yeah, I'm
even
just
if it's
like, yeah.
small,
So I'm
I'm like
going.
Kyrie Irving, I'm going Donovan Mitchell, and then I'm going Jalen Brown. I'm doing three guards.
Oh, you're doing three. I'm going Kyrie.
Oh,
Oh,
I
man.
can't. I can't.
Why?
Can't do three guards.
Why?
But
Yeah, you
Kyrie and
can.
Donovan is who I would go. I don't
You
like
can.
that because then I go
Okay.
there, got Giannis,
Yeah.
Kevin,
I know. I
Tatum.
know. I know. Yeah. So I'm going Kyrie at the one. I'm going Brown at the two. Jalen Brown. I'm going.
Okay,
Oh,
agreed.
this is so hard. The East is so much harder.
Okay, no, the here, listen to these ones. I can do the three. So I agree with your two. I like the
Okay.
Irving and I like the Brown because that's a good.
Yeah. Brown's
Then I have
bigger. He's
Giannis,
good. He's offensive. Yeah.
Durant, and Embiid.
You said
I know
Giannis,
that
Durant, and
Durant and Embiid
see. I
because
almost want
Jalen
to.
Brown's a very physical player, Giannis is a very physical player, Joel's a very physical player, and Kevin isn't, but is at the same time. Um,
See, the thing is, this if it was my team, this is what I would want. Oh, that's so. Okay, I'm taking Irving at the one, Brown at the two, Tatum at the three. Oh shit! How do I not take Durant at the four, Giannis at the five?
who you just leaving out Embiid too.
I might actually leave out Embiid too. This is just such a hard. This is
Okay.
well, you got to tell me. So who are the other centers? You got he's better than Randall, but he's a power forward. He's better than Kuzma. He's a power forward.
There's no other center on there.
Yeah, there's no other center on there.
Joel
So,
Embiid is the only center, but he is honestly, he's
oh
literally
my gosh, I had a very similar list as the East one. I didn't realize that the East was Durant, Irving, Giannis, Mitchell, Tatum. I just had Irving, Brown,
yeah.
Durant,
You can arguably
Tatum.
even put Tatum over Durant to a certain extent. Just
Yeah,
like
right.
this,
But also
Tatum is
but also Durant is fucking good. Like
Mr. Durant.
like when
Durant.
when you're looking at it, you're like it's like James, like right. You're not gonna not take James on your team, right? Even
Yeah.
at the one, sure, I'll take James at the one, 100%, whatever.
Would you say the same right now as Tatum? Because Tatum's carrying.
Tatum
Tatum
is
is the Celtics. He's the face of the Celtics.
Brown is a really good, solid player, but Tatum is
Scottie
like
Pippen.
yeah, literally
That's what I'm
Tatum.
going to stop.
Yeah, that's like Tatum's Pippen. He's just this guy who can make the shots, do all the things. But Tatum is just insane. And I can't wait to see what happens in the finals because watching the finals last year with Tatum was really fun. But I can see
Yeah.
now looking at the list, I can see how Embiid did get snubbed. It's very hard.
Yeah.
I snubbed him without even because it's very
So,
hard when you have
what are
Tatum.
your five that you picked?
Huh? What'd
Remind
you
me
say?
one more time what your
Oh,
five
I
pick, and
got
I'll.
I took Kyrie, Brown, and then at the three is Tatum, at the four is Durant, and at the five is Antetokounmpo.
Okay. So if I did it too, I
Mm-hmm.
would do Irving and Brown, same as you.
Okay.
But then I would go Tatum, Giannis, and then Embiid. So it'd be a big boy front, but
Be a
like
big.
very physical players.
You would snub Durant.
I would snub Durant.
See, I'm almost even thinking about because I'm thinking about it. I almost would even take Mitchell at the two because holy crap, what year he's been having. I didn't even
Yeah.
think about that because he's been having a fucking year, dude. Like,
Not terrible. Good for him, dude. He's like gave his little heart and soul to the Jazz, and then they traded him. Which Jazz
yeah,
are still doing pretty
they're
good,
doing pretty
everything,
good.
but
Um,
um
yeah, okay. So with the teams that they have listed, who do you think wins?
it doesn't fucking matter. They don't play
Doesn't
like
matter, yeah.
that. They play
Doesn't
for fun. But if I had to put these up head to head, the West is gonna win every time.
yeah, dude.
If I actually had to do it, the West is gonna win anytime. So because when you get back to the low, so look, okay, in the Eastern front court, Kyle Kuzma, Pablo Benchero, who's a rookie, Julius Randle, and Nick Claxton are all the last four. Then you have Laurie, Mark, I don't know how to say his last name, but he's on Utah,
Markkinen.
Draymond Green, Sabonis, and then Looney, who are all been really good players, still really good players. But if I put those back four against each other, the West is beating them every time.
Yeah.
And even with
So
the fucking guards, Darren Fox, Austin Reeves, Devin Booker, Therese Hilburn, Derrick Rose, Darius Garland, like good players, but
Derrick
not like
Rose, bro. I didn't even
Devin
I
Booker,
did
bro.
not know Derrick Rose made the playoff, made the
Yeah, dude, he's
I was like,
solid.
damn.
He's a great he's been really good for them, I think.
Yeah,
Right now
for
the
the
next, yeah.
yeah. That's wild, bro. Wow. I guess I picked very similar as the East, so I give no shame to how the East picked. Now looking at
Yeah.
that team, that's hard. Hard. That is hard. I don't agree that Zion should be a starter. He's missed so many fucking games, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's hard. Same with Anthony Davis, right? He's not a starter. I don't even think he should be on here. Anthony Davis should he's fucking always hurt. Um, I
I'm
I
surprised he made it. That was one I was like, no way.
I
He
love Sabonis and I love Marketing because they're just Marketing's another European player. Laurie Marketing is I don't know where he's from, but he's another European player that's kind of dominating the team, dominating the world. But yeah, I don't know, man. Williamson, I just really want him to be healthy. I think Andrew Wiggins is even a European player. I don't think he's from
Yeah, I
America.
thought so too.
I don't even think he's from
I was
America.
trying to think the same thing.
I think
Oh,
he's not from America. Let me see.
and while you're waiting,
He's a
he's
Canadian. Yeah,
Canadian.
he's Canadian. Yeah. See, I was like,
Canadian. See,
I don't even think he's American.
that's crazy, man. But yeah, it's just insane. Anyways, I mean, for
Yeah,
basketball, I think that's really fun.
yeah,
It's who the fuck knows what's going on with the All-Star game? We don't know. We'll find out and get
yeah.
back
We
to
are
you.
just as lost as you guys. So if you don't know what's going on with the game, we
Or
don't
if you do
either.
know, educate us.
Yeah,
Send
educate
me
us.
a
Yeah,
message.
please let us know because we
I know our DMs. And where can they find that at, Alex?
oh you can find that at Three Amigos Podcast on all socials. It's a pretty cool place. Don't even worry, guys. We do post. It's whatever.
Sometimes. All the
Sometimes.
time.
Yeah, hockey is hockey. The All-Star game's coming up too. I don't really like to talk about hockey right now because the Penguins are doing so bad. But we can talk that what happened recently in the last like game or two. Justin, what happened to your Kraken in the last like game or two?
Well, I don't know if they're number one
They
in the West.
are.
They're number one in the
Well,
West,
in the West, no. They are number three in the West, but they're number one in the Pacific,
which is dope.
which is
Yes. Look at
hella
that.
good, dude. Like that is like very, very good for yeah, so right now they'd be number one in the Pacific, but they're technically number three in the West. Like they had the third best record in the West. Um, but they would get a number one or a number three seed, I guess they would get.
Damn. No, yeah.
Number two seed, maybe. I don't know how that works exactly. I don't know if the number ones get I don't know if it goes like since you are the first Pacific, you get second, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works, but they are doing really, really good. So that's good.
Yeah. For second year, dude, it's always really fun. It's exciting, I think.
Is there
Again, I think it's
buzz around Seattle about it?
absolutely.
Yeah,
And that's I think the coolest thing about it, right? Like everybody wants to be a part of it, likes to see it. And again, I've said this before, but it gives you Seattle sports fans are actually super dedicated to their sports team.
very.
And that's the one thing that I can say living here was been really cool. So I become a Mariners fan during my time here because I had a friend who was really into the Mariners. And so I'm like, dude, yeah, fuck it. This is lit. Like they're fun and they were doing good. And I was like, oh sure. I don't even like baseball like that. But I'm a Kraken fan because they made them here, right?
Yeah.
Dude, you can see them all over. The jerseys are all over the place. That stadium's
And
always
they're
fucking packed.
sick. I love that colors. Like they stayed true to the Seahawks color, or like I don't know who had it first, but that color
Just the
of
same.
yeah, blue and
But like
teal.
now, this hopefully, hey guys, Seattle government or whatever it is, whoever makes these decisions, we each deserve a basketball team.
I think it's the NBA, but
No,
I
I don't know
think
who it is.
I don't know who it is, but they definitely do. I think it'd be fun to have a
Whoever it
basketball.
is, we deserve it.
Give 'em a
And if it be the
basketball team.
Supersonics, you can change this again. I mean, the Supersonics are pretty dope.
Supersonics were
And
hype,
green,
bro. But the
and it's a
Supersonics
whole
that
different.
they were hype. Remember how we talked last time about hockey? We talked about the Bruins, what kind of
Yeah,
crazy year they're having. They just went on a 3-game losing streak, which is kind of nutty because they haven't done that. That hasn't been a thing that has happened to them in a while. Um, so that is very interesting to see that this team went on a 3-game losing streak, and the Carolina Hurricanes, who I think made it to the
they were in the
conference game
semi
conference last year. Last year they made it to the yeah, I think the conference.
because they lost to the Rangers, right?
Did they lose to the Rangers? The Penguins lost to the Rangers. The Carolina beat Carolina beat the Rangers, and then the Rangers lost to Carolina lost to the Lightning last year.
Mm.
I'm almost positive, guys. Now I don't know. I could be spewing bad facts right here. But they are a very good team.
Let me fact check you real quick.
Yeah, please do, because I think last year let's see. They won they lost.
They were eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs by the New York Rangers.
You were.
I
Look at you,
told you, I
dude.
knew it.
Look
Oh,
at you, dude. Oh, let's go, dude. I thought that okay, yeah.
because I remember because the Rangers, it was like one game where it was like they beat them like 7-0. Remember,
And
it was
then the
like dominant.
Rangers lost to Tampa Bay. So they lost in the conference round. I was technically correct. Yes. But they lost to New York because New York had some kind of crazy freaking season, dude.
New
They
York was
they were so young. They're not having that great of a season. I guess they're doing good right now. They're doing good, but they beat the Penguins, and then they beat the Carolina, and then they lost 4 straight to Tampa Bay. So right, and then Tampa Bay went and played the Avalanche, and the Avalanche finally won the Super Bowl after 22 years, something like that.
it was crazy.
Super Bowl, the Stanley Cup, which was really cool. But now they have the Avalanche went from winning the Stanley Cup to this year being on pace to have the most time missed because of injury ever in a hockey league in a hockey league
Really?
season. Yeah, they're like on track for like 200 games or something like that, 250 days or something like that, days of like people missed, which is kind of insane. And one of them was Kale McCarr, who's their like one
That's
of
their
the
guy.
best defenders, and then Nathan McKinnon, who's one of the best centers in the game. And both of them have been injured this year, so it's kind of crazy.
That's crazy, dude.
But I think we get back to the game that people listen to us for, people that really like us, and that's the old pigskin.
Heck yeah, baby.
Jay, how did it feel to lose on such a close fashion to the 49ers and then have what happened to the 49ers have what happened?
No, do nothing. It just happens, man. It's not your cards. Again, if you didn't deserve it if you didn't beat them the first time, so it doesn't really matter. Like
Yeah, I
it
guess.
sucks that pretty got hurt because that would have made that game a lot different.
Yeah.
But like at the same time after that, you just kind of once he went injured, you gotta know, like, oh, okay, that's it. Like there's no way in fuck the San Francisco 49ers can survive 4 quarterbacks. Their fourth string quarterback. And their backup quarterback after that point was fucking the running back, the
Christian
fullback.
McCaffrey. Oh
The
no,
fullback.
Juszczyk
Yes, he was
was like
technically
their
the
emergency quarterback.
Yep.
So like their third.
And that's why.
Wow.
So this is when I want to get Chris riled up for the next one because he couldn't
Yeah.
be here, and it's only right because I know he loves to feel that rage. But he was telling us on his Monday call, he was going, "We should put Christian McCaffrey, blah 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 blah." And one, you see McCaffrey try to throw the football, it just didn't work out.
It was
That's not
one
his,
play. It was
but it's
one
not his position.
play.
It's not what he's known. Like it's
I
different.
understand, but you got to
So,
do something.
but you're 30. It doesn't matter. You weren't gonna win. Like in my eyes, at that point, okay, if you're Kyle Shanahan, you're now on your fourth string quarterback. All this luck came to you, and you're not moving the ball, and you're playing arguably one of the best. Like their defense is really great, and their offense is even better. And their offense was carving up that defense.
The offense was kind of messing up
Dude,
that defense.
hey, you know
And
what? We're gonna just
what's
run this game out.
what's so funny too is that defense is known for that defensive line, right? That defensive line is dirty.
Mhm.
That offensive line for the Eagles said, "Fuck you guys." They literally said this. They're like, "Fuck you guys. We're gonna run the ball about 50 fucking times on you guys and have 4 touchdowns by running the ball. And we're gonna become the league leading team in rushing touchdowns in a season on you guys
Yeah.
because you guys have such a good defense that we're gonna just do it to you." It was kind of funny.
It is. And actually, when that Philly line is healthy, it's actually really, really talented.
It's
And
insane.
speaking of one
It's
of their most
insane.
talented players was Lane Johnson, basically playing on one knee and held Nick Bosa, arguably the defensive MVP, to 0 sacks, 0 pressures, nothing.
Wow. That offensive
Insane.
line, that defense must have been felt so defeated going back on the field after again and again and again and
That's
again.
when at that point, like Chris is like, well, they should have done this, just should have done that. At that point, and when it gets to the fourth quarter, and you're just putting Brock Purdy in to run the ball, you
Yeah.
you're not going to win. Give up, and it's okay because it's not going to like this is going to be the least pain on your players. Like, what are you going to do? Try and make Brock Purdy throw a football?
Well, he couldn't. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, but the screen that he tried to throw was like very bad.
You're really going to put Christian McCaffrey in as quarterback?
I don't know, man.
Who you
Try
running back?
something.
Debo Samuel?
Yeah, Debo
And then who's gonna be a
Samuel.
wide receiver? It doesn't work like that. Like then
Let's
you
see.
run in a bunch of wildcat, and then it's just, dude, you know what? They did, I think, what I would have done in that position. Hey boys, great season. It just isn't in our cards. Let's just run this game out. Let's get
Yeah,
the game on.
let's give it our best bet, but also they're kind of running down our throats right now with everybody. So just maybe not.
That Chiefs defensive line has to do the same thing they did to the Bengals, to the Eagles, in order to even have a
Bro,
chance in this game.
what
Because
happened in
Eagles
that
were
game? Yeah, I don't think
so
we really need to talk about the Eagles game so much. Jalen,
yeah.
I'm very happy for Jalen Hurts. I love
Me
Jalen Hurts
too.
as a person, as a player. He's not really on a team that I hate, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's
Um,
honestly I hate.
yeah, I know. So
Fucking
it's
dick.
like whatever. It's like cool. Like because there's good young quarterbacks on teams that I hate.
Yeah. Did you see
So
that thing I posted about him?
about who? Jalen Hurts?
Jalen
Yeah,
Hurts.
that was cool.
Crazy, dude. Like bench several different times on live audience in front of all these people. Man, dude, gotta have some self-doubt there at certain points. But
And
look at him.
and and to not act out of emotion any of those times. Like that was like I think that's the coolest part. It's like after that is such and especially when you're going through when you're in college, bro, you're trying to like figure everything out as a person. You're going
Yeah.
through just life in general, and now it's like yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to see like what he's been able to do. Yeah, I don't think there's much to talk about on that game. Whatever I mean, when you lose your starting quarterback in the second week, and then you lose your backup quarterback in the 10th week, and or
Yeah.
10th, ninth or 10th week
11.
or something like that towards the end of the
Yes.
season, and then you get your third string quarterback who literally is on a tear. You lose him, and then you get your fourth string quarterback who goes out with concussion protocol. Man, I don't really know
Not meant to
what.
be.
Yeah, I don't know what else you could ask for. Um, but yeah, I don't know what else you could really ask for in that scenario. So, good for you, San Francisco. I hope that you can find.
Happiness.
And I think before we move on to the next game, should there be a quarterback controversy in San Francisco next year
Yes.
between and who?
Brock Purdy and Trey Lance.
You think ship off Garoppolo?
Why not?
I guess, yeah. Because what Trey Lance is a sophomore and Brock Purdy's rookie this year. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Why not ship him off? Get some high money,
Well,
get
someone
some
who
high
needs him now,
value,
dude. I mean, you could send in fucking Texans.
dude. Texans. You could send him to the Jets. You could send him to the Falcons. You could send him to Carolina. You could send him to A
But
lot of
again,
places. It
they're sending
depends
the
on.
49ers to DeMarco Ryan's 49ers to
Oh,
Texas.
you
That's
could.
what I'm
Yeah. You
crazy.
could. I mean, you could also like, and then Lamar might not. I guess he might be staying. He might not be staying. It looks like they're probably going to pay him.
Who knows? I don't. I think they're gonna pay him. Like they're not gonna pay him, but it's just gonna suck because that it's just they gotta give him something more to be able to do. Like you gotta go get like a number one receiver. You don't have
Something. You
that.
got to get something over there. Well,
Yeah.
Braidman's freaking good. He just keeps getting injured.
Yeah, I know. So you just gotta make some money, things happen, but we'll see what happens with
Yeah.
that.
Hopefully he goes to a different team.
But yeah, I think there absolutely should be a controversy and a quarterback controversy
And
in San Francisco.
if there's not,
'Cause Brock Purdy played lights out, dude. I
and
mean,
he's never technically lost a game. He was
yeah.
taken out of this game. He wasn't able to play after one drive.
Tell me whose injury is worse, that elbow or that ankle?
Depends on how bad the elbow is.
Or the ankle.
Because
The elbow is like 6 weeks. He just needs 6 weeks.
oh,
Surgery in six
then
weeks.
the angle.
Right.
Well,
And
it
he
depends because elbow is literally like the thing that they were saying is like he just couldn't get anything. Sure, his grip's there, but he couldn't get any grip. He couldn't get anything behind it. Yeah, it's like I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of a. I hope.
and even if they
For
keep Garoppolo, and that will add more pressure to it. It will be insane and crazy to see what they do next year. It'll be fun to see.
because Trey Lance is still on his, but he's on a second. He's on a second.
To me, this becomes your like you have to see what leader, like who is the true
Yeah,
leader,
who's the
who
true leader?
guys
Who
follow.
do guys want to play for?
Exactly. And
And if you pick Trey
um,
Lance and he does shit next year, like what you know what I mean? Like it's like okay, well, you keep one of them obviously, so you just bench him and put the other one in. But yeah, it's gonna be
lied,
crazy.
it's not 6 weeks, 6 months.
6 months. What he is like Tommy John basically.
I don't,
I don't
yes.
know basically it's probably what it sounds like if it's like that. But that's like a very serious
Yeah.
that's a very serious thing and if you can't get that fixed correctly, MLB pitchers are like out forever
Yeah.
because of Tommy Johns. So it's like if that's what
That's
I don't know what it is, but what
yeah. That's sad. That could be bad.
let's see, pretty injury update. ULC, I think, which is Tommy Johns.
Yeah.
Needs surgery. Damn. That's rough. Sucks. He's so young.
So young. But it's
On a
different throwing a baseball and a football, I guess. So maybe it
yeah,
changed.
so hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
We're not doctors here.
Yeah. I'm not a
So
doctor.
we don't know. But we had another game. The Chiefs and the Bengals. We talked a little bit about it early. We're not going to talk about the bad calls. We're not going to talk about that. All we're going to talk about is the game and what happened. Okay?
Yeah. Chris isn't here to be angry again about these
And
things.
you could get into all kinds of what ifs. They made a whole Marvel series on what if something, right? You can get all kinds of what ifs and be all over the place. You go, what if all those calls were made? You'd be like, cool. What if Patrick Mahomes threw another touchdown? You know what I mean? Like it's like cool. Okay, well, what if Patrick Mahomes just threw another touchdown? Like
Yeah.
you can go all day with that kind of stuff. But with what happened, dude, crazy.
Good game.
What a good, always a good game between these two. I'm excited to see these two rival. I'm excited to see this rivalry kind of heat up if it happens again in another year or two, where they keep going back to the.
Should you're gonna at least see them in the playoffs, hopefully.
Oh yeah,
Like it's
100%.
if one's got to go through one or the other in order to get through it, I think.
Yep. So, Patrick Mahomes on a hobbled leg had a pretty good game,
Really good game.
and when he needed it most, he used his feet to run, and unfortunately, 15
Risked
extra
his life.
yards. It's the name of the game. Damn. But one thing, Pachinko, bro. I understand he only had 26 yards.
Oh,
he just runs so hard.
One of the hardest running backs, dude. He hits the hole. He powers.
It is ridiculous. It is literally ridiculous how hard he runs. And then MVS finally going off on the game. He was good in the Packers. He finally went off in the game.
Oh, dude, hey, when they needed him most. And it's funny all over Eli Apple, who is like one of the biggest trash talkers, right?
Oh, he is.
116 yards,
116.
touchdown, and for a guy who really hasn't done much this season, and like Again, this is one of the funny ones. I know you're a Steelers fan. Where's Juju?
Yeah, where is Juju? Was he hurt? No, he was not hurt. He was in the game.
Just
I've
quiet, bro.
I said this many of times. Juju is not a number one. Whatever happened with Brown, it all changed.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but it changed him. It changed everybody on that team. Yeah, that it was a really good game though. Fun. I'm just kind of pissed that they kicked and made the field goal because I wanted to see the overtime rules for the first time.
Me too. That would have been dope. We talk about a lot about I think some of the Chiefs stuff, but also the Bengals. Let's just talk about how actually well they played. Like I think Joey Burrow's numbers don't stack up to maybe what he was trying to do or the things that they did. And really just how the Chiefs played.
Dude,
That Chiefs
that defensive
defense
line
played
was
hard.
not Chandler Jones, Chris Jones, I think, right? I think
Uh,
it's Chris.
Chris Jones.
I think it's
4 sacks, I think, in the first quarter, or something like that. They had 0 yards in the first quarter. They did not move the ball at all.
it was ridiculous. Chris Jones, right? 95. That's who it was. He
Like a monster. Yeah.
finally got his first sack in the postseason.
Good when he needed it
He's
most.
when
And then
he
that defense played lights out.
he's never had a sack in the postseason. He's such a good player to not have a sack in the postseason.
Hmm.
Um,
Young though.
yeah, he's like 5 or 6 years.
He's like
old.
5, 7 years in.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
to have 65 sacks in a season and never have one in the postseason when you've been on the Chiefs for the last 5 years, like, come on, dude, come on. So it's
And I
finally
think it was
good.
Joey's B second interception. Did you see that defensive corner play? That tip of that ball. He played that like money.
Yes, probably. I watched the game. So, oh yeah. Yes, he
So
did.
it was the one. It was Higgins. He like just jumped at the right time. Everything was just perfect, and it hit and boom, bada bang. It was lit. Like that was I love the corner position. I like wide receiver and cornerback, and when I played, that was like my favorites to do. And that just dude was so pretty. It was so nice to watch. He made a big play, and that could have been a touchdown. That could have been something else.
It was kind of what it almost felt like a punt to me too. So it didn't feel that bad. But that cornerback, I don't know who he is, but they're also out Willie Snead going into next game, which is like their number one nickelback.
Receiver.
No, it's their nickelback. It's like their hybrid cornerback. Like he's really good, but he got hurt. Willie, no, it's just Snead. Willie Snead. It's Snead, but
we'll
he's
see.
really
We'll talk
good.
more about Super Bowl predictions next week,
Yeah, we
and
will.
with Chris when Chris is back from. So, but I mean, besides that, brother, what else we got?
I think that's it, man. I don't think we got much for you guys. Much. We've talked for an hour and a half. I don't think we got much for you guys.
We don't got much. We're almost done just talking to Era.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us, bro. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. You can always find us at our socials, the Three Amibros podcast,
At
or
Three
the
Amigos
Three Amibros. You can
podcast.
look up the pop
You
up.
yes.
So
Other than that, bro, I don't got much. It's so weird to not have a lot to talk about
we got
football.
less games to talk about.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And not an extra episode that we have each week. Just
Yeah,
one.
it is a very interesting time. So if you guys want to see what kind of like content do you guys want to see when the Super Bowl's over? Because we've been thinking and we have some stuff coming up, but like, hey, yo, let us know what kind of content you want to see because we have no idea.
Slide into our DMs. If you're on YouTube, do the comment section below.
Yeah.
Just hit us up.
Let us know. Other than
All
that,
right, but besides that, peace.
peace.
Loves and blessings.
Bye, guys.